Over 150 armed forces veterans, including 3 former army chiefs, have written to the president and commander-in-chief against the politicization of the armed forces. Now, this is an unprecedented move. The letter to the president complains about the manner in which the ruling party is taking credit for military operations like cross-border strikes, and even going so far as to claim the armed forces to be Modi ji ki Sena. I remember the UP chief minister had made that remark, including a union minister as well had used that comment during an election rally. Now, the letter which has urged President Ram Nath Kovind to take all necessary steps to urgently direct all political parties that they must forthwith desist from using the military uniforms or symbols and any actions by military formations or personnel for political purposes or to further their political agendas. Well, joining us for more on this is Air Vice Marshal Kapil Kak. Thank you, sir, for speaking to NDTV. Tell us more about this letter, because for a while there's been some amount of anger or dissatisfaction among the army veterans and forces veterans over the manner in which the forces have been politicized in the last couple of weeks.
No, Gargi, this should not be just a concern for the armed forces veterans, but the nation itself. I mean, the nation has the highest regard for the political and apolitical and secular nature of the armed forces. They have all along, for nearly 70 years since independence, upheld democratic principles, civilian controls over the military, and there is a widespread appreciation amongst the citizenry of India, admiration, in fact, for the role the armed forces play in protecting the national integrity, and upholding the Constitution of India, of which the President of India is the legal custodian. So who else will the veterans go to but the President of India? I am one of the 156 signatories who have written this letter, and one is deeply concerned because the armed forces are now an ultimate insult to institutions by the political parties. They are being dragged into campaigns, rallies. Can we ever believe that some responsible head of a government in the country, of one of the states, will say that the armed forces are Modi ji ki Sena? I mean, this is the insult to the Constitution of India, of which the custodian is the president. And this is indeed a matter of disquiet, unease, and concern for all of us. And who else can we go to but the President of India? And I think, I believe in the interests of India, it's being upheld as a democracy which is admired all over the world, a very vibrant, a very loud, sometimes fractious, but all the time a very, very robust democracy. It's under challenge now by the actions of political leaders who have destroyed institutions, almost all vigorous institutions, and have now come at the doors of the Indian Armed Forces. I think this is unacceptable to me as a veteran and to the 156 people who have signed this petition to the President of India, who is also the Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces, that he needs to step in. Letters have been written recently by a former naval chief, in which I was also a signatory. Some chief election commissioner took some actions in advising political parties, but they are not listening. So that is why the President of India has to now take some action before a greater and more punitive kind of unease is caused to the armed forces who are the veterans, as also to the serving people, because there are organic kind of links between the veterans. They represent today's serving soldier, sailor or airman is tomorrow's veteran. So there is a linkage. And so we need to take this very, very seriously.
Right, so you're saying concern also for those currently serving the nation. You've copied, this letter is also copied to the Election Commission as well. And earlier, after there was again anger or unease over what the UP Chief Minister had said about Modi ji ki Sena, the Election Commission had issued a notice to him. However, just shortly after that, you had a Union Minister, Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi, repeating that same line again during an election rally. So really these notices don't seem to have much of an impact. Are you hoping that maybe with the President saying something, perhaps reacting to this, that this will be a message to all political parties to stop this politicization or the use of armed forces during their rallies?
Gargi, the problem with India today is in this intense competition for electoral politics. I mean, I in my life have never seen the kind of language that is used by very senior political leaders against each other. That itself represents a sense of irresponsibility in the political class. The political class has done enough damage to the body politic of India. And I think there's a need for realization amongst them to begin with. They're all very responsible people. Why is it that the competition in politics and possibility of being in power supersedes every other civilizational conduct, behavioral pattern, family values, the culture of India? Why is it happening? So this is a question the political leaders have to ask. After all, how much can the President or the Chief Election Commissioner, you and I as public citizens, how much can we do? I mean,
right.
There is a time that the nation has to take a call, because why is it? And there is a more fundamental question. Why is it that this step that we have taken as armed forces veterans has not had to be done in the past? Why is it so? This is what you can yourself answer, because there is a new ideological underpinning in which every institution is being brought into the shenanigans of
right.
political parties at electoral platforms, using symbols, using uniforms. We have a leading political leader of India in battle fatigues. These are issues that we need to ponder over as a nation.